I've been a software engineer for more than 3 years now, and almost all the time I've had DevOps tasks. Fixing Docker files, writing pipelines, tweaking Kubernetes manifests, even though my job title wasn't DevOps. The days went by and I was always sure that there's something wrong, until a dear friend of mine told me that DevOps isn't a role, it's a practice. And it made the whole thing very more clear for me. So, what exactly is DevOps? In this video, I want to talk about what I know about it. So in the next couple of minutes, I talk about its mindset and have a quick overview on its required tools. Some of its tools, it has a lot of tools. Hi, welcome to my channel, ParshaTube. In this channel, I try to document my journey, and as a part of my journey, I share what I know about different things. So, what is DevOps? It usually goes like this. Developers build an app, it works fine, no issues, but is that the end of the story? Definitely not. For people, for end users, to actually use any software, it needs to run on a server. Basically, a bigger, more powerful computer. The catch? Even the biggest servers have one thing in common: limits. If it's our server, I can only handle a certain amount of requests at a time. If too many users hop on a web app at once, the server can crash and no one can use it any longer. DevOps is about solving problems like that. Well, DevOps is an acronym for, I put the S here, is an acronym for development, operations. So we can get that it's a combination of development and operations. But what does it mean? Well, there is a life cycle for building and maintaining an application. I don't want to talk about details of that life cycle. There is this stage, this stage, this stage, this one. I just want to talk about some of its parts. One of them is build and package. The other one is deploy, and the other one is observe. DevOps is involved with these steps. And let's say that these steps are for creating an app. Creating. Well, you can see that there are challenges not just when creating an app, but when delivering it to the people, to the end users. DevOps is delivering the software to the end users in a way which is fast, efficient, secure, and all that. As I said before, DevOps isn't a role, it's a practice. So from now on, I try my best to not use the term of DevOps engineer and use the term DevOps tasks instead. So this was all I know about its mindset. But how about the working experience? I mean, what does doing DevOps tasks feels like? First off, let's review some of its common tools. Let's go to the whiteboard. The first one, well, Linux. It's not a tool exactly, but I should definitely know about it when I'm doing my DevOps tasks. GitLab or GitHub. Pipelines. This is it actually. And I should. Ansible. Some monitoring tools like Prometheus or Grafana. Kubernetes and well, Argo. These are just some of the tools you need. There are plenty more out there, and the thing is, new ones are popping up every day. But in the companies I worked at, these were the tools which I used. So let's have a little introduction on each one of them. The first one, Linux. Well, it's not a tool, it's an operating system. I can't write this way. Operating. I wanted to say something like Windows, but no. Windows should work a lot harder to get even close to Linux. And there's of course no comparison for programmers. I believe that after computer networks, Linux is the biggest engineering phenomena that humanity has ever reached. I find it useful because of two things. Let's bring them here. The first one, it's commands. Most of the servers and all of good servers are running on Linux. And in my Docker commands video, which you can see right up here, you see that I use Linux commands to work with a container. So they're everywhere, and knowing them is really important. And the second thing is its architecture. The architecture of Linux is so complicated, and I don't expect myself to know everything about it. But even understanding some of its features helped me to have a better point of view of what's exactly going on in most of these tools, such as Docker or Kubernetes. The next one is, let me here. A GitLab or GitHub pipeline. Well, they are related to continuous integration and continuous deployment. Well, pipelines trigger some actions when some changes are applied. Oh, I should push that. I should sit like this. Where some changes are applied to the project, to our source code. Pipelines are an endless cycle of improvement to your application. I don't want to talk about them too much. Well, they are important, of course, they are foundation to a lot of things, but to be honest, they are not complicated, they are understandable. For the next item, for example, let me divide this one and this part. Here is for Docker. Let me change it a bit. I can sit crooked. Okay. Docker is a tool for running softwares more easily and more efficiently. I'm creating a playlist about using it, which you can see right up here. I don't talk about this too much. Let me do right here. The next item is Ansible. Ansible is a tool for automating large-scale operations on multiple servers, no matter where they are located. The main idea is that you write and run a script just once. I mean, this is your script. And then Ansible carries out your task on all your servers. I mean, each of the circles are server at once. The next tool which I want to talk about is Prometheus, but here is so crowded. Let me clear this. Not all DevOps is about reconfiguring servers. At some point, you have to make sure that they work fine. That's where monitoring tools come in. So these tools make sure that everything is fine. It never happened to me, but I can search for it. Prometheus and Grafana are the tools which I use when I do my monitoring tasks. And this image which I use in almost all of my videos is Grafana 2. By using them, you can define the charts showing the data which is critical to your application's performance. And the last two are Kubernetes and Argo. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed about DevOps, so I don't want to go too deep in Kubernetes and Argo. Kubernetes is so big and Argo is somehow a corner case. Well, Argo is about connecting your production server to your Git repository. It's to your Git repository, and Kubernetes, it automates. But it doesn't work. Sorry. It automates scalability, deployment, management, and a lot of things. It's an enormous tool with a lot of features. So for now, just hear the name. So when I'm doing DevOps tasks, I configure servers, I start them, I delete them, I define procedures, and a lot of other things. But if I had to compare it with something so you can picture it better, in the last section we saw a lot of tools, and they are of course more for DevOps engineers. Software engineering isn't like that. Let's say the place which I'm working at uses Golang. So when I'm doing my software engineering tasks, more than almost 70% of the time, I just use Golang itself. And we just develop a single project. I would say DevOps engineer is like a race team's pit crew chief. They don't build the cars from scratch, but they know how to work with all kinds of cars, keeping them at top speed, swap parts, and get them back on the track. Software engineers, on the other hand, are like a mechanical engineer who worked the past 5 years on that particular part of a BMW model. They focus on building and improving the software itself. And seems like that's all I know about it. You've heard a lot of names, so many tools, but don't worry. If you check my channel, you see that I've already talked about some of them. And of course, I'm going to talk about other ones in the future. Hit the like button if this video might help you. Take care of yourselves, be curious, and keep learning.